After the American Revolution, many thought slavery would just fade away. But it didn't. Instead, it transformed into something even more horrific: the domestic slave trade. Let's rewind to 1776, when the United States was born. Slavery was already the bedrock of the Southern economy, especially on the tobacco plantations of Virginia and Maryland. But by the end of the 1700s, those tobacco fields were exhausted and profits were drying up. At the same time, new territories were opening up in the South and West, lands taken from Native American nations. These new lands were about to change the course of American history. Then, in 1793, Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin. This machine was a game changer. Suddenly, processing cotton, which used to be incredibly slow and costly, became fast and wildly profitable. This sparked a cotton boom, and massive plantations sprung up across Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and eventually Texas. These new cotton plantations demanded a huge workforce. But there was a problem for the planters. Importing enslaved people from Africa was becoming a major political issue. In 1808, it was officially banned by federal law. Did this ban weaken slavery? Not at all. It actually made enslaved people already in the United States even more valuable. This is where the domestic slave trade exploded. Slave traders started fanning out across the upper South states like Virginia and Maryland, being men, women, and even children from farmers who were struggling financially or from estate sales. Imagine this: human beings, treated like livestock, were chained together and forced to march hundreds of miles south. This was called a coffle. Others were packed onto ships and sent down rivers to the deep south. Once they arrived in cities like New Orleans or Natchez, they were put on auction blocks and sold to the highest bidder. The human cost was immeasurable. Families were systematically destroyed. Parents were forced to watch their children being sold, knowing they would likely never see them again. The traders called it business, but for the enslaved, it was a terrifying second Middle Passage, a journey defined by loss, fear, and profound uncertainty. By the early 1800s, this internal slave trade had become the engine of the entire American slave system. It connected northern banks that financed the trade, southern plantations that demanded the labor, and the immense suffering of millions of people. This brutal system kept growing and growing, right up until the Civil War finally brought its violent and long overdue end. Thanks for watching.
Have you found this history important?
Please like this video and subscribe for more.